Hey guys, this is Ebike dad-bod. I started this channel to take you on the adventure of owning an e-bike, so let's go. I bought a used 2019 Haibike Xduro Nduro 3.0, and there wasn't a lot of information on these bikes in particular, but also I feel like just e-bikes in general. Yes, you've got the pros. Yes, you've got those from Lone Wolf that we'll review, but that's not your average Joe like me. I'm just the guy with a dad bod going to have a good time and still get a decent workout. So I wanted to give you an honest review what I think about the e-bikes, and let's take it out on the trail. Let's take a first spin. I'm gonna ride on assist level 2 of 4. So I'm here in Corner Canyon in Draper, Utah, and I'm gonna give you the pros and cons of the e-bike. Let's go over the cons first, and then I'll go over the pros. So the cons, number one, it's not super quiet. It's not the quietest bike. I don't remember it being noisy like it is right now, but there's a little bit of some clicking that just isn't going away, no matter if I wash it or not. So a little bit noisy, obviously heavier, but I look at that as a pro and a con. Not as flickable as my acoustic bike. However, it is a lot of fun having that extra weight in the corners and the downhills. All right, the other cons would be if you're riding with a group, you're the only e-bike, all your other buddies are on acoustics. It's not as fun because even though, as you can tell, I'm breathing hard already. Even though you're breathing hard, even though you're working, you're still gonna go twice as fast uphill as all of your buddies. I'm gonna boost this up to level 3. I just remembered I gotta be back so that my wife can get to work. So the biggest con of them all would be I've had 3 issues with the rear tire already. So at first, this bike actually came, these were tube-in tires, and I did keep having issues with those tube-ins. I got 2 pinch flats the first 2 rides that I did, so I switched to tubeless, and then the ride, about 2 rides after that, even with tubeless, that's when I blew my tire. But to be honest, I'd been in some rough terrain. I ran into a cactus field and ended up having to get a new rear tire completely. So by far the biggest con. That's the thing I've been most frustrated with for sure. It's enough chit chat. Let's get up the trail. So I just kind of want to give you an idea of how quick you can go uphill. And again, this is mode 3 of 4. So I could bump this up. What they call boost mode. Let's try it. And to be honest, not a huge jump in assist from 3 to 4. It's more just kind of abrupt, annoying power. So I'm gonna bump it back down to 3. The trail's so fun on the way up. I just wanted to film again. I feel like most people just don't get to experience this, right? You're typically not really choosing the fun line on the way up. It's usually the line of least resistance. So just kind of wanted to show you, I should have hit that little obstacle. but I mean, you can cruise up the mountain, which is really fun. And you can probably hear, I'm breathing. I mean, I'm breathing hard. There's full energy on the way up. It's just that I'm gonna get up in about 1/4 of the time. All right, so check this out. Let's power up this uphill. No thing, ain't no thing. Anyway, here we are, cresting this part of the trail. Again, just beautiful area. So let's get into the pros. I just feel like you can enjoy your entire day with the e-bike. Oh man, I'm just loving the scenery. It's beautiful. Also, just a lot more fun choosing lines up the hill. If you need to get somewhere, like let's say you just don't have a lot of time in the morning like me this morning. My wife needs to work. Way less time if needed. Next pro, you can go so much further. So in the same amount of time, I mean, it's, goes hand in hand, but in the same amount of time, a normal 2-hour ride where I'd cover maybe, 7 miles, something like that on an acoustic bike. On the e-bike, I can cover 15, 20, probably about 20 miles in a 2-hour ride. A lot more distance. Another pro, on the downhill, we were actually experiencing this yesterday. My buddy and I are pretty even on the downhill. He might be a little faster, and I can turn up the assist, and on the downhill I can pedal down, push through on some of those flatter sections, and I drop him. So that is fun, you're competitive. You want a competitive advantage. Obviously it's not fair, but if you want to leave your acoustic buddies in the dust, it's really easy to do that, to drop them even on the downhill. Other pros, I've only ever used half a battery on a single day, so like 20 miles, it's drained about half. Always depends on, your riding style, the assist level you're on, all that. But I've never used more than half a battery on a day. So battery lasts a long time. Yeah, the only thing that makes me hesitant, makes me wonder if I should go back to an acoustic, is the rear tire issues that I've had. So if those go away, then I might just keep the bike, not worry about an acoustic, and fully convert to e-bike. Right now, I'm not totally sold. So anyway, we'll resume when we pick up the downhill. So we're gonna head down. It's called Rush Trail. It's probably one of my favorites. And let's show you what this baby can do on the downhill. All right. You ready for some fun? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. No. It rained yesterday. It's literally the entire reason I came up here today. Man, okay, well, gotta find another way down. That is a bummer. After all that hype, we're gonna find another way down. So first thing to notice, this has really good suspension as far as travel. 180 mils on the front and rear, I believe. And this thing bombs. I do have my assist on because I wanted to show you guys what it can be like on the downhill. We're gonna come down this way. This is the way we came up. And hopefully there's some parts that we can start flowing a little bit. Morning. All right. That was actually the very first guy that we passed at the very bottom. Oh man, I would love to power through these corners faster, but I just get worried for uphill traffic, so. Ooh, excuse me. Again, assist on the way up. It's an obvious assist on the way down. You don't really think about it until you. All right, man, that's fun. Man, these trails are just perfect today. Man. Whew. All right. Well, hopefully that gave you a little taste. Oh, look at that, little young buck. All right. Little table. Some little chunky stuff. Hairpin. We are back home. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll clean up the bike, do a little walk around. I know I've given you some generic pros and cons of e-bikes, but I'll do a quick review of the of this Haibike. All right, so we're back from the ride. I've got the bike all cleaned up, and I told you I would give you a quick review of the Haibike. So the things that I love about this Haibike, first of all, I love the look. I think it's really aggressive. I love the Bosch motor. It's really strong, does a great job. I've never had any problems. The battery life is excellent. I've had people say, oh, it's only a 500. You know, any ride that I've done, I have never gone really under halfway. Like I've gotten it down to 2 bars a few times after about, 20 miles maybe, somewhere around there. But overall, battery life is excellent on this thing. Suspension is fantastic. 180 mils front and back suspension. You can soften it or stiffen it on the fly. It's got these little clickers, which is awesome. I run it somewhere in the middle. Let's go into the cons about the bike. It's heavy. It's 56 pounds. I've heard there are lighter ones. They probably cost a ton more money. So under 4,000 bucks, and I've got a pretty awesome e-bike. Any other bike that you're gonna get, if you're gonna go e-bike, you're probably gonna be looking in the $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 range. The other con, I would say, is the motor is loud. You guys heard it on the trail. The motor can get loud. I've noticed, especially if I haven't washed it, then it's louder. So there must be some dirt getting in there somewhere that's making it click or making it a little bit worse. The power delivery, even though I love the motor and it's strong, sometimes, just depending on certain situations, the power delivery won't be very smooth. There might be a little bit of jolt to it at times, but it's not very often. So overall, that's kind of nitpicking. Really, it's such a great bike. I actually love the weight, even though I listed that as a con. I love the weight in the corners and on the downhill. It just eats through any chunk. You can just power through it. Yeah, if this rear tire can hold up, well worth the money. Even at, I think brand new right now, they're like $5,400. I would still say well worth it. So let me know if you have any other questions. Overall, we'll call it a thumbs up.